to keep that
yes.
kind. Kasi marami din to, 73.
In terms of optical media products, under Republic Act 9239, the OMB has primary jurisdiction. So sometimes, because the agency is a small agency, the OMB is a small agency, we do not have regional offices. So we have to bring our agents to different parts of the country in order to conduct raids, and that entails a lot of expense. So sometimes,
and paperwork.
yes. So sometimes what we do is we coordinate with the local police or the local NBI in other provinces in order for them to do the raids. But then sometimes nagiging problem is what happens to the confiscated goods.
Confiscated goods.
Kasi sasabihin nila, it would be expensive on our part to have it shipped to Manila. And dapat naman pag magko-conduct sila ng inventory, hindi nila alam paano i-inventory because the OMB has the technical know-how.
Yeah. How do you describe the optical disc,
yes, kasi for example, ang problem nila is what if nag-raid kami and puro originals pala yung nakuha namin?
Does that happen? Has it ever happened?
It has happened.
It has happened once.
Yes. That's why as much as possible, we always inform our counterparts with the NBI and the CIDG. If it's optical media, it would always be safer to pass through us first because it has happened before na original yung mga na-confiscate.
Yeah,
kasi yung mga agents kasi namin, they go through seminars.
Well-trained.
Well-trained sila in determining whether or not. Well, sometimes, sabihin mo naman, it's so easy. Makita mo yung mga nagbibenta sa kalye.
Yeah,
That's probably counterfeit. But how can you be sure? What if hinuli mo and turned out na original? Baka ikaw pa yung makasuhan.
Oo, baliktad. Yeah. And as you said, the OMB only has one national office here in Quezon City.
Yes, it's in Quezon City.
You don't have yet nationwide presence in terms of satellite offices or staff in the provinces.
But we are trying to work on it. We are
do you see the OMB in the future opening of regional offices, for example?
Actually, under the law, we have to open regional offices.
So, deliverable po ng OMB to, of course, have nationwide presence. Of course, you're very popular in the news. You're well known for raids, but the OMB is more than that, apparently.
Yes.
There is a licensing function, there is quasi-judicial function, and of course, they provide technical know-how, capacity building to their counterparts who are the local NBI and local government units.
Yes.
Who are the ones on the ground talaga enforcing the Optical Media Act. Yan. So those are the policies and the directions that the OMB is taking under the directorship of Attorney Cyrus Valenzuela. Now I appreciate that now it's much clearer. Yung mga nag-a-apply po ng permits sa inyo, these are usually business establishments.
Business establishments, right.
Schools po, do they have replicating functions?
Yes. No, not exactly replicating, but they have computers that uses mga optical media, and they have sometimes they would conduct burning activities for their students. So, pag magbe-burn sila ng mga CDs, they have to get the permission of the OMB.
Is it easy? How fast does it require?
It's a one day process. Yes.
Okay, so mabilis na, very efficient.
And the fees are very minimal.
How much is it? Does it cost to get a permit? What do you call that? The CP?
The CRP or the Commercial Replication Permit. Right now, I think it's only around 50 pesos.
50 pesos.
Yes.
And it's just within
because
1 day.
we are encouraging everybody to legitimize.
That's very good, definitely. So, kung halimbawa po, you raid a business establishment, tapos willing naman yung business establishment na to convert their or software into original ones. So, may mechanism po for that. You encourage.
Technically, they have already violated the law. But policy kasi namin is we are not here to stifle legitimate business enterprises. We are promoting a level playing field wherein everyone can compete. We don't want kasi yung mga yung mga establishments using legitimate softwares na sasabihin na hindi nalulugi naman kami dun sa kalaban namin dahil bakit sila mura yung renta dun sa computers nila dahil pirated yung software nila. Hindi naman namin makompete dahil yung, for example, internet cafes. So, what we do is sometimes we give a little leeway na okay, so long as you legitimize, then we would go soft on them.
Yeah, you can negotiate.
Yes.
You, as you said, your policy is to legitimize.
Yes.
Yan, legitimize software for not only maybe business establishments but anyone, and all of us have to log into the computer and the internet every day. So definitely, it is not a victimless crime. Piracy is not a victimless crime, and it has, well, it causes losses to the government in terms of taxes. And income, of course, for those who create these kinds of software or movies or other intellectual property.
Yes, even in terms of investments. Like why would a certain, for example, why would a certain product invest in our country when they know that specific product would just be pirated? So they would rather invest in a country na mababa yung piracy rate. So
may effect din po
may
parang
effect
ganun.
in that way.
What are the other
natin.
negative effects aside from, of course, the government loses out in revenue and it translates to lost income po for artists? So what do you think are the other negative effects of piracy?
Well, other negative effects is the enforcement agencies right now concerned, we're still conducting intelligence gathering, but we have reasons to believe that proceeds from pirated goods directly finance terrorism. So in that way,
Yikes.
so it's also a security risk.
I see. So yeah, actually, I was we in the Intellectual Property Office would like to launch some sort of information campaign to the effect na buy original, or
Yes.
at least sponsor original, be original, ganyan. Pero I was looking at the other countries' efforts, no, or similar information campaign in promoting against piracy. And meron yang ganun may mga studies na ganun na, of course, child labor and drugs, prostitution. Kasi this is informal sector. I mean, those who
Yes.
produce these goods are under the radar, so to speak. They are not registered. They don't pay taxes. We have no means of verifying who they are or whether they're registered businesses.
And in terms of prosecution, if you are caught selling drugs, you get a life sentence.
Yes.
Kulong ka habang buhay. But if you get caught selling pirated goods, the maximum penalty that can be imposed is 6 years under our law. And 6 years is probationable. So after exerting effort in getting a conviction, all you have to do is apply for probation and you do not serve any jail time. So yung mga tao involved in drugs before, in human trafficking, they are shifting to piracy.
Mas profitable and lesser
Yes.
yung imprisonment.
Lesser yung risk nila.
penalties. Yes, yung penalties. Well, that's unfortunate. And meron na po ba tayong mga convicted? Do we have records of
Yes, we have.
convicted?
We have.
Definitely.
But sa OMB we have 2 years ago we had a case where we got a conviction, but all he did was he didn't challenge yung conviction niya sa lower courts and he applied for probations.
So that's a specific
So
case.
that's one of the amendments we're
Talaga.
pushing for, is to increase the penalties.
Kasi definitely there is a deterrent effect if the penalty is for life, and or you know,
Wag naman life.
wag life, ano lang, longer
Yes.
jail sentence, kumbaga, para may, you know, mas matakot po yung
In
mga
Japan, they increased it to 10 years.
penalty.
The penalties. And it had, according to their studies, it had a deterrent effect.
How would you know how are our Asian counterparts doing in their fight against optical media piracy, for example?
Well, other than the Philippines, I think it's only Malaysia that has a law directly addressing optical media piracy per se. Others, what they do is yung normal na yung mga copyright laws lang nila. It's just the Philippines and Malaysia, I think, that has specific laws directly regulating optical media.
Also specialized, and Optical Media Board is a specialized agency.
Yes, it's a specialized
for
agency.
optical media, and that doesn't just mean discs. It also includes magnetic media and
Yes, magnetic
replicating
media.
machines. Yan. But as you were saying earlier, kung magmamigrate po ng form, yung I mean, now we have flash drives and flash memory.
Yes, flash memory.
Would that still be covered under your jurisdiction?
No.
So specific po talaga
Unfortunately.
kayo for discs.
Yes, for this.
Optical Media Board. We might need an amendment pretty soon if the pirated activity migrates into a different platform in that sense. Although I think the OMB still has a lot of leeway in order to cover that.
Yes, right
kind
now,
of,
yes.
Yes, you have.
But in the next 3 to 4 years, medyo we have to have certain amendments already. And we have to start it now because it takes years for our
Yeah,
laws to
pass
get
the
pushed
law.
through.
Oo nga. Yes, definitely. Technology and of course the internet is a parallel universe, and the way it changes, na pag-iiwanan yung how we regulate the internet or what more technology. So definitely we have to address that. We have to address that by law kasi otherwise we cannot move beyond, the government agencies cannot move beyond what they are mandated
Yes,
to do.
there is no crime if there is no law.
Exactly. So, and definitely piracy is a crime under the Intellectual Property Code, the Optical Media Act, and other related laws. And we'd like to encourage all our listeners to please buy original. If you'd rather pay for the discs, movies, and software installers cheaper, wait for the sale. Siguro.
Oo.
Diba? Kasi they're now really bringing down their prices. Bagsak presyo na rin ng mga original in order to compete. So, let's not sink our own industries by sponsoring pirated goods. And, of course, if you have trademarks and patents that are not yet registered, please do register them with the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines. Call up 238-6300, local 514. Their website is www.ipophil.gov.ph. I'd like to thank David Salon, the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines, the World IP Organization, and Attorney Cyrus Paul Valenzuela of the Optical Media Board for joining us this morning. Attorney Cyrus, do you have any activities coming up? Please invite our listeners.
We will be conducting enforcement operations, and we've already informed them. Businesses in the Visayan region, we would be conducting inspections, and we already warned them to make sure that they are using how do you call this? They are using legitimate software in their computers. So
Yeah,
this
may
is
warning na po kayo. Please legitimize your
please
software.
legitimize.
That's the policy.
Yes, that's the policy. So we would be conducting this sometime next month. In May. So
will you be there? Will you also be touring the Visayas
yes, I
region?
would be there with them. We would be going around in Bacolod, Iloilo, even in Mindanao, Cagayan de Oro, and Iligan. We would be conducting inspections on business establishments.
Yeah, so all business establishments are forewarned to please legitimize your software. We're not
Yes, this
here.
is in line with the PAPT.
The
Pilipinas
Pilipinas
Anti-Piracy Team.
Yan. We prefer that we don't catch pirates and put them into jail. We'd rather that everyone uses legitimate software.
Yes, that is the ideal.
That's the ideal. Sabi nga ni Attorney Cyrus earlier in the show, that is the ideal for all of us to not be in the Piracy Watch list, and for all of us to respect each other's intellectual creations. Ayan. Again, we're celebrating the World Intellectual Property Day. We have a special section on the Philippine Star. Please check it out if you'd like to have more details about the IPO Phil's activities. And we have a message there from the Director General of the World IP Organization, since the theme is designing the future, and hopefully the Philippines' future will be all original. Again, this has been Attorney Sarah Sugitan on the Piracy Watch. Please join me again next Tuesday for another edition of the Piracy Watch right here on DZRJ, the voice of the Philippines.
You have been listening to Piracy Watch with attorney Sarah Jane Sugitan. Piracy Watch, an exclusive presentation of DZRJ, 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines.